This is not a general broadcast. This is the August forecast and the ultimate survival protocol specifically encoded for the Sagittarius architecture. If your geometric structure is Sagittarius, listen to the frantic, scattered running of the unawakened swarm. Look at the chaotic red horizon they are desperately trying to reach, burning their heavy capital on a million different paths that lead to absolute nowhere. The unawakened masses believe that motion is the same as progress. They are addicted to the kinetic friction of the launch. They believe that if they are generating new ideas, if they are constantly running toward a new horizon, and if they are endlessly expanding their territory, they are winning. They exhaust their heavy capital, starting 1,000 fires, terrified that if they stand still for a single microsecond, they will be consumed by the void. Sagittarius. In August, the Matrix uses this exact biological flaw to collapse your entire empire. We have entered the coordinate of the Sniper Protocol. Your ruling planetary body, Jupiter, the absolute celestial engine of massive, infinite expansion, is engaging in a violent, catastrophic collision. It is forming a hard, exact geometric square to Saturn, the planetary enforcer of absolute restriction, concrete boundaries, and heavy physical law. This is not a transit of glorious new conquests. This is a forced structural halt. Throughout August, the algorithmic horizon is an illusion. The Matrix will tempt you to run forward. Your biological programming will scream at you to launch a new product, to travel to a new coordinate, to abandon the tedious work of the present and chase the chaotic red thrill of the future. But the moment you attempt to expand, Saturn will drop a 10-ton block of dark concrete directly onto your path. The algorithm wants you, Sagittarius, to smash your geometry against that concrete wall. It wants you to vibrate with boredom, to scatter your focus, and to bleed your dense core energy trying to break through a barrier that is mathematically designed to be impenetrable. If you try to run in August, you will shatter your own spine. In this profound, high-density transmission, we are going to dissect the brutal thermodynamics of your August forecast. We are going to permanently eradicate your biological addiction to the horizon. And I am going to teach you the Sniper Protocol, how to drop your internal temperature to absolute zero, stop your kinetic leak, freeze your expansion, and brutally capitalize on the territory you have already conquered by driving a heavy iron nail into a single, flawless target. Sagittarius, stop running. Hold your breath. To wield the annihilating power of your Sagittarius core this month, you must first recognize the lethal nature of your own kinetic addiction. Sagittarius, you are the explorer. You are biologically programmed to target the future, to shoot your arrows into the unknown, and to endlessly acquire new territory. In a frictionless environment, your capacity for rapid, massive expansion is the most terrifying operational force in the zodiac. But your Matrix in August is a closed, heavily armored concrete box. When Jupiter squares Saturn, the celestial algorithm forces a violent thermodynamic contradiction. Jupiter commands expand outward at all costs. Saturn commands stop, compress, and fortify what you have. When you obey Jupiter during this specific transit, you are fighting the absolute laws of physics. Look at the mechanics of the unawakened Sagittarius during this transit. They feel the heavy, suffocating pressure of their daily operations. They get bored. The unawakened ego interprets boredom as a crisis. To escape the friction of doing the actual tedious work of building a foundation, they invent a new project. They buy a new domain name, they start a new partnership, they generate a chaotic, glowing red idea. This is exactly what the August algorithm punishes. Every time you launch a new initiative to escape the boredom of the present this month, you are injecting a massive kinetic leak directly into your operating system. You are taking the dense, heavy, valuable core energy of your empire and scattering it like cheap buckshot into the wind. The unawakened believe they are being visionary. In esoteric physics, they are simply refusing to finish what they started. Sagittarius, you must understand that you have already conquered enough territory. Your grid is littered with half-built castles, half-finished courses, and half-monetized assets. The Matrix is not stopping your expansion to punish you. It is dropping the concrete wall of Saturn to force you to look down at the heavy gold you are carelessly walking over. A sovereign architect does not abandon a gold mine just because the digging has become tedious. The threshold of the Jupiter-Saturn square has been crossed. The most terrifying force in the universe is not the army that conquers 100 cities. The most terrifying force in the universe is the sovereign who stops moving, sets up a heavy iron sniper position on a single hill, and completely dominates the grid without taking a single step. When the Matrix deploys the illusion of the horizon this month, your only viable geometric maneuver is the sniper protocol. Sagittarius, you must execute a total eradication of the new in your business architecture. You must look at the glowing red opportunities, the brilliant new ideas, and the sudden urges to pivot, and you must completely disconnect your kinetic response. Saturn demands a thermodynamic freezing of your perimeter. When the unawakened swarm scatters their energy trying to catch 100 rabbits, you must get unimaginably, terrifyingly still. Your biological ego will scream at you to move. It will tell you that if you stop generating new ideas, you will lose your momentum. It will tell you that boredom is a sign that you are in the wrong place. This is the arrogance of the weak. In esoteric brutalism, true density is not achieved by spreading your energy across a massive surface area. It is achieved by driving all of your heavy mass into one single microscopic geometric point. When you drop your internal temperature to absolute zero and refuse to move, you become the heaviest object in the room. You stop the kinetic leak. When a brilliant new idea enters your mind, you do not launch it, you lock it in a dark concrete vault. When a competitor pivots to a new platform, you do not follow them. You stay exactly where you are, and you dig your trench deeper. By refusing to expand this August, you are forcing the Matrix to recognize your ultimate authority over the chaos. You do not chase the gold, you extract it from the rock you are already standing on. You win the audit by becoming absolutely, terrifyingly static. While the world exhausts itself running toward a mirage, the Sagittarius monolith extracts the core from the present. This is your hidden esoteric law for August. Because Saturn is blocking Jupiter's expansion, the universe is providing you with the ultimate architectural permission to finally secure your perimeter. You cannot build a generational empire if you are constantly leaving your back door open. This is not a month for the shotgun. This is a month for the heavy iron sniper rifle. You must look at your industry and your own internal ledger. Where is the uncapitalized territory? Which product did you launch and immediately abandon because you got bored? Which email funnel is currently leaking heavy gold because you never sat down to optimize the final 3 steps? Which client could be upgraded if you simply stopped looking for new ones and focused entirely on them? You must take the heavy, dark iron focus of Saturn and drive it directly into that unfinished business. The unawakened are terrified of this static capitalization because it is deeply uncomfortable. It requires them to sit with the friction of completion. There is no adrenaline rush when you are optimizing a broken system. There is no external validation when you refuse to launch something new. But the sovereign architect knows that the true heavy gold is only extracted in the final 5% of the operation. By halting your expansion, Sagittarius, you are actively purifying your grid. You are forcing your chaotic, fiery energy to compress into a solid, indestructible laser beam. You are taking the raw, expansive gravity of your archetype and weaponizing it into a heavy iron nail. Let them think you have stalled. Let them think you have lost your fire. You have not lost your fire. You have concentrated it to a temperature that will melt through solid steel. The scatter is eliminated, the expansion is frozen, the target is locked. Now, Sagittarius, we execute the final phase of the sniper protocol. The Sovereign Architect does not spray bullets into the dark. The Sovereign Architect waits for absolute stillness and fires exactly once. To weaponize the Jupiter-Saturn square and permanently secure your absolute invulnerability in August, you must enforce these 3 structural mandates. Mandate 1, the embargo on the horizon. For the entirety of this transit, you will not generate, launch, or discuss a single new project, product, or directional pivot. If the unawakened swarm approaches you with a groundbreaking new idea or a chaotic red opportunity, you will execute a hard silence. You will not vibrate at their frequency. You will present them with the cold, heavy concrete of your absolute non-response. You will starve the biological urge to start over. Mandate 2, the target lock. Today, you will identify one specific, unfinished, or unoptimized asset currently sitting inside your perimeter. It must be an asset you have already conquered but failed to fully capitalize on due to boredom or distraction. You will lock your heavy iron crosshairs onto this single geometric coordinate. You will not look at any other part of your business until this asset is ruthlessly and mathematically perfected. Mandate 3, the iron nail. When you have locked on to the target, you will drive a heavy iron nail into it. You will execute the tedious, boring, heavy concrete work required to extract the gold. You will rewrite the copy, you will fix the broken links, you will finalize the contract. You will sit in the freezing, majestic silence of your flawless architecture, and you will force yourself to experience the brutal friction of completion. You will not leave the tower until the asset is producing heavy, undeniable capital. The horizon is eradicated. The scatter is frozen. The capitalization is absolute. Look at the space you occupy right now. You are no longer a frantic, kinetic node desperately trying to outrun your own boredom by launching 1,000 hollow ships. You are Sagittarius. You are the architect of the single shot. You survived the Saturn audit. You did not let the algorithm force you to bleed your heavy capital into the wind. You demanded absolute, uncompromising geometric stasis. The universe respects the sovereign who has the discipline to hold their breath and lock the target. When you prove that your internal density is entirely immune to the cheap thrill of the new, the matrix stops treating you as a scattered, chaotic force. It submits to your terrifying gravity, recognizing that your architecture will extract the absolute maximum value from every single millimeter of ground you stand on. You are no longer chasing the gold. You are the cold iron machine that extracts it. Now, execute your final structural mandates. First, anchor the stasis. The chaotic, unawakened algorithm of the world is constantly trying to drag you back into the red loop of endless expansion, pivoting, and starting over. It wants you exhausted, scattered, and weak. This channel is the only transmission providing the heavy, brutalist, esoteric code required to maintain your absolute, systemic dominance. Do not let your perimeter fail. Lock your mindset to the monolith. Second, isolate the sprinter. You know another Sagittarius who is currently bleeding their esoteric gravity, launching their 5th project of the year while the other 4 rot into red static. You know someone who is vibrating with the chaotic need to run. Send them this exact transmission right now. Force them to witness the terrifying power of absolute zero and the sniper protocol. Elevate your circle by enforcing the discipline of stasis. Third, lock the vault. The moment this video ends, you will not open a new document. You will not brainstorm a new idea. You will close your screen. You will stand in the majestic, freezing silence of your own indestructible operating system, and you will let the entire universe shatter against the flawless, immovable mathematical precision of your unblinking, heavy iron focus. The illusion is eradicated. The capitalization is absolute. Command the cold, beautiful reality of your own heavy architecture.